Hey everybody, Speed Freak here. Welcome back to Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, and welcome back to part 3 of my 2024 garage tour. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in my 4th garage, located here off of the not Greenwich Parkway. It's one of the garages right by the airport. Can't get the name of it off the top of my head. I think, yeah, this is Greenwich Parkway. Right before you get to the garage, and this is my 4th garage. Up until this point, I've been going through each of my garages in order. But after this one, we're gonna step out of order. So these are all the cars that I've gotten in this garage, and I'm gonna go through all of them, starting with the one up top, and working my way all the way back here in terms of order. So if you enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Feel free to comment down below. Feel free to follow me on Twitter if you so wish to do so, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So with that getting out of the way, let's get started. Okay, first up we have the Class A Tampa. I don't think you can get this car anymore, but it's a throwback to Grand Theft Auto 4: The Ballad of Gay Tony, which was a new model at the time, primarily based off of a Dodge Dart, I believe. I think it's at 68 to 70. I can't really remember. And you can actually still buy it off of, I think, Southern San Andreas Super Autos, I believe, for a relatively cheap price. Let's see if it actually is here. Yeah, let's scroll all the way down. Yep, came out of the festive surprise for 2015. You can buy it for $375, 75,000. And in terms of performance, it's basically driving a Sabre, fully modified Sabre Turbo, but with extra handling. So a better handling Sabre Turbo. So it's gonna handle like a 2013 car, and with this beautiful metallic green. This is a beautiful metallic green. I only chose it because I didn't know what color I wanted to paint it. So yeah, so that's gonna do it for the Tampa. Up here we have my next supercar, the Progen Italy GTB Custom. It's a hybrid between two cars. It's a supercar, and to get it, you have to go to Benny's Original Motorworks, and you actually have to buy the original Italy GTB, and then take it to and then later upgrade it. In case it wasn't obvious, being Progen, this car is primarily based off of a McLaren 570S. However, it is also hybridized with an American hypercar concept that called a Tryon Nemesis from the roofline. A American hypercar that unfortunately never made it past the shell car phase. The latter car of which that this car is hybridized with, you may have seen in the video game, I believe Asphalt 8 or the Asphalt mobile game series. You may have seen the latter half of this car. Anyway, the design behind, the look behind this one is Spyro the Dragon 2. Spyro the Dragon 2. In my first part, I once said that I had a Buccaneer in a midnight purple with the license plate Spyro on the license plate, because I imagined him, if he was a GTA character, I figured this would be his first. That would be his first car. My GTB is a sequel to his car, his supercar, quote unquote. Because when I was a kid, the reason behind that, because when I was a kid, when Sonic and All Stars Racing first came out, Sonic's car from the front looked like a Porsche, and I imagined Spyro having something similar to that, except it being based off of a McLaren, more specifically the McLaren MP4 12-seat, or the 650S as it's known now. So this is the closest I could have gotten to that. So I went with the full blown bright metallic purple race car look with carbon fiber, everything. Not my favorite car in this entire garage, but it's definitely a fun one to drive. Although it's not the best in terms of performance, it is gonna get outclassed by the certain top cars of this generation. But it's actually not that. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. But next we have my Truffade Nero, aka the Bugatti Chiron. Another supercar that's $2,200,000. It's pretty expensive, and it's basically just a better handling adder, for want of a better description. That actually has a active spoiler that I think the original adder should have been. You can actually have. I actually have two of these. The regular one right here, as well as um the custom one. You can actually still get it off of Benny's Original Motorworks for $1,440,000 plus the upgrade price of it to get it. It actually drives pretty nice. The black, decided to go with the metallic black because around the time I bought this, I was watching YouTube playthroughs of Spy Hunter, the video game, and around the time I bought this, I liked the PS2 version of the Spy Hunter car, so that's kind of what inspired the paint job. And it's fully tuned. It's not the best when it comes to racing, but it's actually pretty cool. Plus, it actually looks really good. Just honestly, just better than the Adder in my opinion. Next up, we have the Vapid Riata, an off-roading pickup truck based off of the Ford Bronco concept. And I think you can still buy this off of Legendary Motorsport. If not, you currently cannot buy it off the internet. Wait, hold on. Off-road. No, no, you cannot buy this one off-road. No, you can't buy it so far anymore. But so if you have a friend that has this, you can have to get it from them from the Legendary Motorsport. I don't know how much it costs, how much it would cost for you to get one that's bone stock. But to give you a long story short, it's a decent off-roader, and I got it for the looks. The paint job I went with is like almost like a urban camo with the white classic primary and the dark steel. The dark steel gray secondary to go for like a almost like a urban camo, and I went with the camper on the back. Not too bad the way I came out. Although I will admit, I think I'm going to change. I think I might end up changing the tires at one point. Next up, we have the Grotti X80 Proto, aka the spaceship from not import export, from Finance and Felony, I believe. You can still get it off Legendary Motorsports for the whopping price of $2,700,000. Yes, you heard me right. $2,700,000. And you have to understand, this was the most expensive car at the time, the supercar to come out at the time. And it topped out at 127-ish miles an hour according to Broughy 1322. However, that top speed kind of depends on the direction you're driving it. Broughy 1322 does a fact-finding video on if the spoiler's broken or whatnot. So I highly suggest you watch that video. Go look it up for yourself, cause it explains a lot about this. Explains a bit about this car's performance. So honestly, it's just a red. I believe it's a metallic red with a white frostwhite or ice white secondary to go with the outline of the car, as well as the wheels. And this actually used to be my go-to for stunt car racing, and I still have it to this day just because of the outlandish look. In terms of look, speaking of looks, it's actually based off of a Ferrari concept drawing that never made it out called the F80. Yeah, it was it's basically a Ferrari F80, a concept car that never made it out a couple years ago. Up next, we probably have my absolute favorite car of this garage, the Grotti Cheetah Classic from Vice City. Uh, Vice City. This one this one is based off of the um 85-ish. I'm just guessing here, the 85-ish 1985 Ferrari Testarossa. And I went with the whole Miami Vice look with the white classic paint on the outside and the tannish interior on the inside to mimic it. It's also not just a Miami Vice reference, but also a Vice City reference. Cause for those of you that didn't grow up playing the original in game, there actually is a reference to Vice City within that game. If you get 3 stars, one of the cop cars will be a Vice City Police Department version of the Cheetah, which is this, and it would actually come in the regular Cheetah colors: red, yellow, blue. Yes, red, yellow, blue, and white. And the only way to get it was you had to get them out of the car and then steal it for yourself. And I'm speaking from my experience on the PlayStation 2 version. On the PC version, I think you were also able to find it parked on the mainland Vice City, the VCPD parking lot. I believe near Little Havana. However, I could be wrong on that one. In terms of performance, it's actually my go-to for sports classic racing. Because if you remember in part 3, I once said that the Turismo Classic is the overall best one. Well, this is its equivalent. However, the main difference is the Turismo Classic has HSW upgrades. The Cheetah Classic does not. You can still both buy them off Legendary Motorsports right here. And the Cheetah Classic is right in between the Grotti Turismo Classic and the Infernus Classic. The main difference is, one thing they share is the top speed of 120.8 miles an hour. And they have very similar lap times according to Buffy. So they're both very close in terms of lap time, so they're both interchangeable. The main difference is I prefer the Cheetah Classic over the Turismo Classic is that the Cheetah Classic has better brakes, much stronger brakes, so you can brake later and stop quicker. So either one of those are really good for racing, and I highly suggest you pick them up both. Pick up both of them. Up next, we also have another car that you cannot also get anymore, the Ocelot XA21, based off of the Jaguar CX-75 hybrid supercar that unfortunately was never made. It's in the supers class and would have set you back over $1 million, I believe $1.5 million. And what you get out of it is another car with a active spoiler that'll rise up once you hit a certain speed, plus, not to mention, a great sounding one. Not to mention a really good sounding one. It's got all-wheel drive and it's relatively balanced. Has a good speed, good traction, good acceleration for a 4-wheel drive car. It's just not gonna hold a candle to anything that's currently out right now. But still, if you have the money and you have a friend that has this car that you unfortunately cannot get anymore because it was removed, definitely give this one a try. You are not gonna be disappointed. Up next, we have another Ferrari-based concept car, the Grotti Vision. This is also a supercar that you can actually still get. You can find it on Legendary Motorsport, and you can buy it for 1 million, I believe 1,000,003, if I remember. No, scratch that. $2,250,000. Came out with the Smuggler's Run DLC and is primarily based off of another Ferrari concept drawing. The Ferrari, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this, the Ferrari Xezri, Xezri. I could be mispronouncing that. Please let me know in the comment section if I am. Anyway, it's a relatively good car for racing. Not the best. It's rear wheel drive. The wheels right here are actually the stock wheels that I actually painted via now um the now deactivated iFruit glitch that you could actually incorporate to your phone. So I'm not sure if there's any more glitches that you'll be able to allow to paint the stock rims for, other than I believe the LS Customs glitch. I'm not sure, but that's how I managed to make them, and it's a decently balanced car. It sounds really good. There's two things you need to know about this car. One, believe it or not, despite being a concept car, and despite the rear exhaust and how the rear back is made, it actually has a license plate. You just have to choose the certain bumper. You have to choose the certain rear splitter, and I believe it's the second one or the second to last one that the license plate will actually be visible, where all the other ones the license plate will be removed. And another fun fact that I think sets this car out from all the others, not just in the supers class but a lot of cars in pretty much almost all cars in general, is if you were to go to the window tint, instead of the windows tinting the side mirrors and the rear mirrors like they do with all the other cars, the window tint on the Vision tilts all four windows, windshield included. So yeah, I think it's a neat little trick. I think it's a neat little car. I kind of wish this was standard across all of them in general, but yeah, I'm not complaining. Next we have the Albany Hermes, the Mercury. I believe it's a Mercury 8. I could be wrong. Primarily from the Grand Theft Auto Vice City, based off of the Cuban Hermes. At least mine is. It's another gloss black and chrome colored muscle car with airbags, and it's not the best for racing, but man, it looks good. I feel that this also could have benefited from being a lowrider, just due to how low this thing sits. But hey, I'm not complaining. And up next we have my final supercar in this car, plus another one I would use for racing, the Overflood Autarch. A relatively good supercar you can buy for $1,995,000 on Legendary Motorsport. And where is it? And it's actually a really solid car for racing. Where is it? Did I pass it up? Oh no, here it is. Oh, scratch that. Never mind. I got the price wrong. It's $1,955,000. It's a rear-wheel drive supercar, primarily based off of the SCG-003, a Le Mans ready racer that with the twin turbo V6 engine that is street legal. All you have to do is just take off the switch out the tires. You're ready to go. You can go to the track, take it to the track, and drive it on home. Drive it to the track, drive it from the track, whatever. It's a solidly decent car with rear-wheel drive, a decent top speed, and superb handling. Definitely pick one up if you want, but I prefer waiting for it to go on sale before you do, just to save you guys some money. But that's gonna do it for this garage. and maybe this part of the next one. So off all the way from part 1 to part 3, all of these cars you have, with the exception of the Cheetah Classic, these cars you have never seen in videos. You haven't, I know you haven't seen in videos for the most part. So from now on, from all of the other, all the rest of my garage space is going to be cars that you have seen in videos, that I've actually done videos over, customization videos on and whatnot. So those I'm just gonna just speed right through. And with that, I'm actually gonna stop going in order and go out of order, and I'll see you guys at my auto shop. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now that we're finished with the quote unquote normal 10-car garages, I'm gonna go to this garage quickly, because for the most part you've seen all of these, with the exception of the final 4 right here behind me. So first things first, we got the Willard Eudora, your own personal taxi cab. Not the fastest, but really good to look at. Sucks, but brakes suck. I mean, you could cosplay this crazy taxi if you want. We have the Karen Hot Wing Evron, the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro from the current season of NASCAR. Currently the fastest and best of the Hot Wing series. Yeah, the Maibatu Monstrosity, the Mitsubishi Pajero Evo, currently the only off-roader with HSW upgrades, and Andy Monitech, I believe. You have these Garage Stinger TT, which has Imani Tech and HSW upgrades, making it one of the fastest cars in the game, in expanded and enhanced. You have the Bravado We have the Bravado Gauntlet Hot Wing, another Hot Wing car that's in the middle between the standard Hot Wing Sabre and the Hot Wing Evron, which actually has some vehicle customization. And we have the Grotti Turismo Ormaggio Ferrari F8 Tributo. Probably one of my only newest go-to supercars for racing that only has one primary paint job. All those cars I've mentioned you have seen in customization videos, so I won't go explaining them how they feel in the description, because they've already have their own individual videos on my channel, so feel free to look at them at your own leisure. Now these 4 cars here I have yet to do customization videos on, so stay tuned for whenever I get down to those, because I'm definitely gonna do those after I record my garage tour. So yeah, get ready for that, starting with the Dominator GT over there in the green. And the reason why I'm showing you this my auto shop garage instead of my agency garage, because one, a lot of these cars are going to be moved into other spaces, such as probably my arena workshop, for example, as well as maybe my arcade, if I ever buy the garage upgrade to use it. So think of these as sort of like half permanent home, half temporary housing for some of these cars, for a lot of these cars. So yeah, I'm gonna end part 3 right here. Next part, we're gonna go to my agency. We're gonna go to my agency garage. And actually, before I end this part, I'm gonna show you one last garage that I don't really use, but I keep some cars anyway. That I keep some garages in it anyway. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, right before this part is over, this is my facility and my final quote unquote garage for part 3 of my garage tour. Now this one I just housed my two weaponized vehicles, my Deluxo and my Scramjet. Honestly, I just felt like having a facility just to house my weaponized vehicles would be enough, because I don't want them getting confused with all my civilian cars. So pretty much think of all of so basically think of my facility as a garage where I have all of my weaponized vehicles, and I only have 3. My other one being my Toreador that I've also done a video on, but I keep that in my Kosatka sub. So I'm not gonna show that off today. That's the only one that's the exception. My apologies. But anyway, let's just wrap this up with the Deluxo and the Scramjet. Okay, the Deluxo came out with the Doomsday Heist, and you can get the trade price for 3.5 million off Warstock Cash and Carry if you once you beat the first heist, the data breaches. It's a sports classic. It's a sports classic that's part of the yeah, it's a sports classic that's primarily, based off of the 1981 to 1983 DMC DeLorean, aka the car from Back to the Future. Now, when I bought this car, it was actually $3.5 million, but as of a few updates ago, the price has been adjusted, so now it's more expensive. And well, the only way to modify it is actually inside of an Avenger or the MOC if you have a bunker. And it's actually rather unique because not only can it drive by itself, it has really good missiles, kneecapper machine guns. It can actually fly, and it's actually pretty fast. The paint job I have on this is just a brushed aluminum, as a reference to how all of the DeLoreans were manufactured in real life. However, unlike the actual DeLoreans, which only tops out at 100 around 85 miles an hour, this one has 3 different speeds, and it's quite odd, to say the least. Allow me to explain right quick. On the ground, if you just first start it up, the top speed the Deluxo will reach a top speed of 127-ish miles an hour. Really fast, borderline supercar speeds. If you go from the ground to hover mode, which is just barely hovering above the ground, which is a reference to Back to the Future 2, the car's top speed will drop from 127 to around 90-ish miles an hour. And if you pull up and go into flight mode, the top speed will also decrease to 80 miles an hour, 80-ish miles an hour, between 80 and 90 miles an hour. Now, if you go from any of the flight modes back to normal driving mode, instead of going back to its top speed of 127, the grounded top speed will be lowered to around, I believe, if memory serves me right from Bruffy, around 115-ish miles an hour. So just keep that in mind. Should you buy it? It's gonna take a missile. It only takes one good hit to hit, but it can turn on a dime in the air. You can turn on a dime in the air. It's slow in the air, but it has its own icon, and it's actually pretty decent. So do with it as you will. Plus, it also has the going doors, much like the other one. Still, maybe skip this one. I don't know. And finally, we have the Scramjet, based off the Mach 5 from Speed Racer from Declassy. You can also get, this came out the After Hours update, and is also purchasable off Warstock Cash and Carry. It can, much like the Mach 5 that it's based off of, which is a fake car from the hit animated TV show or anime Speed Racer from the 60s, one of my favorites behind Dragon Ball. It can jump by pressing the horn button. It has a boost feature like the Toreador and the Vigilante, and it also has missiles. Mine is basically like my own version of the Mach 5 that I personally dub the Crimson 5. It's basically where I basically just imagine the Mach 5 from Speed Racer X, aka the 1997 remake, just with inverted colors. So yeah, this is just my own personalized version. I don't really use either one of these cars all this much, so they've just been gathering up dust. But I just bought them just to have. You never know when they might come in handy. So anyway, that's gonna do it for part 3 of my garage tour. Next part we're gonna be doing through my agency garage. Yeah, next up we're going to be going my agency garage, and then for the final part we're going to go through my office garage. The first office garage of which has cars that are the last set of cars that I haven't done videos on, while the other two I have done videos on. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Speed Free 2010 signing out. I wish you guys all a very good day wherever you are, wherever you're watching this, and stay safe, man. Have a good one. See you next time.